It's currently 12:45 a.m. and I'm lying down in bed, half asleep. And there is so much running through my head right now. I've never been so overwhelmed before, and honestly, I just have no idea where my life is headed.
So 902 days ago, or if you are a normal human being, 2.5 years ago, I was at what I believe the lowest point in my life. For so many reasons, I knew that I was headed down the wrong path, and I honestly didn't really know what to do about it. And to this day, I don't know why, but one day I got fed up and decided to journal how I felt. After that one time, I started getting really into it, and I became obsessed with capturing the moments of my life. I wanted to have some form of accountability metric tracker that would tell me if my life has improved or worsened over time. I basically started writing every single day, and I tracked my entire life for now 2.5 years. So essentially, this is the last 2.5 years of my life told only through my journal entries, and I'm going to show you exactly what the power of taking one small step, of spending 5 minutes writing your thoughts down one single time, can have on your entire life. Let's do it.
I'm going to start writing journal entries at some point every day from now on. I want to be able to just stop overthinking and start living in the moment more. Because while thinking and planning have their benefits, they've also limited me, and they've become such a major source of anxiety.
Every single time that I used to work here, I would think to myself, look at all those people in regular clothing, looking so happy, probably enjoying their summer, enjoying their life, and I'm sitting here in a suit and I'm not happy. I'm not happy with my life. I couldn't wait the entire time I was working there to finally be one of the people wearing normal clothes who could just leave. Of course, that's a silly assumption because not everybody is necessarily happy who's not working in an office, but you know, I was young. It's crazy to think that I was in one of those little offices 2.5 years ago feeling the way I felt, and now look at myself in the mirror today and see who I am.
Being in university is weird. I used to look at these guys when I passed by here as a kid and just think of how big and hairy and scary they looked. And now I can't believe that I'm one of those people. I've gotten to meet so many cool people in the last few days, and it's nice because I really needed this change of scenery. And hopefully this is going to lead to bigger and better things for my own personal growth. For the very first time in my life, I have had an emotional breakdown. And for someone who is so composed with his emotions, this was super surprising. That I was just sitting at my table crying because of my grades, crying because none of my plans have gone to expectations. And I really thought that I was going to get better. I really thought that I was on the right track, and I don't know what to think. But you know what? The year is almost over, and all I am focusing on is praying that 2019 will be the best year of my life. I think that it's fair to say that I've had the absolute best week in a hell of a long time. Shit has just been going so well. Let's fucking go, Rock! And I've been making the absolute most of life, and I don't know what else to say except that I love myself. On another note, I got hired for the summer to work in a bank. This is going to bring me so much experience. It's going to boost my CV, but most importantly, I'm making enough money that I can hopefully, God willing, get accepted to go to Singapore for my exchange. A lot of things have happened recently, but none more important than I got into Singapore. This is the dream that I've had for the last year and a half, and it's just crazy because every single night I've kept myself awake dreaming about being in Asia, dreaming about being in this foreign world, and now next year it's finally gonna happen. I'm also applying for an investment banking position for next summer. I don't know why, but I have this really crazy ideal situation of how my 20s are gonna play out. So I get this job, I work my way up, I make a ton of money, and then once I've had enough of this shitty lifestyle and I've just made enough money, I go enroll in a top 5 master's program. All this time, I get to learn the tools to become the world's next greatest CEO. Those are my ambitions by the time I am 28 years old. One of the harder journals that I've had to put in the records today. I just remember walking downstairs with my backpack and about to go to class, only to see mom crying walking around the hallway. I just lost my grandmother. Seeing how strong she was throughout all the adversity she faced in her life, and I just hope one day I can amount to that level of greatness. I guess if there's one thing I can share with you guys, it would be to appreciate your grandparents if you still have them with you. This is one half of my side of my grandparents that I didn't really get to know too well because I was too young. If your grandparents are alive right now, do your best to give them a hug, give them a kiss, call them, because all they want is the best for you and they just want to make you happy and they want to see you happy. Today is officially my last day as a teen. In this 20th year of life, I want to say no to excuses. But every single time that I've said this in the past, I still find a way to make them. I want good grades, but most importantly, I want to find my own direction in life. I don't really know what path is going to lead me there, but I just don't feel like I'm contributing to this world. I got absolutely spanked in all of my investment banking interviews, but guess what? You can do so much better for the world, and it's just a matter of finding your own measures of success. And the only way that you're going to find this is if you travel, if you discover the world, if you find out what makes people tick and what they need to be happy. I want people to be happy. It's been 3 weeks since I've started working, and honestly, I just can't deal with it. It's just too un-Will Rossi for me. Basically, I just want to be able to decide my own schedule. I don't know exactly what it is in life that I want to do, but it just isn't this. It's not working in a finance job. Today, I did nothing. Today, nobody spoke to me. I didn't speak to a single person all day. I'm still waiting to hear back from my project. I can't wait to go to Europe. I can't wait for the week to be over. When is Friday coming? I miss Fridays.
August fucking, what day is it today? August 7th, 2019. I just finished 14 weeks. Woo! Let's go! Yes.
Wow, the day has finally fucking come. I'm on the plane heading to Europe, and I just finished work yesterday. And the biggest lesson that I learned is that life is always going to be throwing you curveballs, and that's just something you have to deal with. You can't avoid those mentally challenging parts. You have to take them head first, deal with them, and have the expectation that it'll all get better soon. On another note though, I just can't wait to experience new surroundings, new countries, new cities, and be totally free from the environment I've had for the last 2 years.
What do you have to say about this?
Talk about a backpacking experience. We were in Naples. Just eating at Di Matteo Pizzeria. Full backpacks, right off the plane, getting this pizza, this fucking food, and then we're getting right to the train. We're going to Sorrento.
New year, new me. This is just crazy. I'm currently on the plane to Tokyo to finally live out this dream I've been thinking of for years. I'm just doing a little video here, thinking back on, what's happened in this decade and looking forward to what's gonna happen next. So I guess recap now is I'm 20 years old, currently about to start a blog called Sprought, leaving for exchange to Singapore. Looking forward to figuring out what state I'll be in when I'm looking at this video.
January 19th, 2020. Just ran 10K. Lesson here is that you can do anything you want. Your mind controls everything. This is number one of the many things I'm gonna challenge myself to do. Woo! Give it! Woo! Yeah! Woo!
Finally checking out in my dorm. So sad, so stupid.
It's crazy. I'm about to go from the peak enjoyment of my life back to the comfort and surroundings that I tried so desperately to get out of. So because of this virus, I find myself leaving Singapore, but honestly, I can't tell you if I'm leaving to go home or if I'm leaving to go to Montreal. These past 3 months, despite an incomplete version of my experience, have been life-changing and eye-opening. I realized that when I was left in my own thoughts, I can do so many magnificent things and I can push myself to levels never seen before. Let me tell you one thing, Will. Comfort is the killer in life. I've been so used to comfort that I found it almost impossible to act on any impulse. But I learned specifically that in life, your mindset is unparalleled. And if you can push yourself to new heights, that will be the difference between whether you become extremely successful or just average. I have so much to say, but I'll leave it at this. I love you, Singapore. Safe to say I brought that Singapore mentality home with me. Today, I ran a marathon, a full marathon, 42.2 kilometers with zero training and zero prep. I decided to run this because it's been on my bucket list for a while and I never acted on it because it just seems so daunting. Now I get the satisfaction of knowing that I can do so much more than I think if I just try. Despite the pandemic and despite being stuck at home, I've never achieved so much. I started this insane brand called Sprouht and I've allowed myself to graduate earlier than I expected, and so now I can go one step closer to working on my dream life, which is to run this big community of more than 1 million people. This is just the beginning for me.
So if you haven't already figured it out, my life has changed just a little bit in the last 902 days. What I want you to understand is that I didn't make this video so that you could see how my life changed. I made this video to give you an example of how one small decision can lead to massive results. If you think about the magnitude of change that has happened in my life in the last 902 days, well, what does that all boil down to? It all boils down to a split-second decision that I made in June 2018 when I said, you know what? I'm gonna write it down today. If you want to create a big change, do something small. Just take 5 minutes and say how you feel. And don't think about the rest. Don't think about if it's going to change your life tomorrow or not, because it might not. But it'll change your life in 6 months. It'll change your life in a year.
December 4th, 2020. As I'm sitting down on my couch thinking about the fact that I'm graduating in 2 weeks, I'm asking myself, who do you want to be? What do you want to do next? And how on earth do you plan on getting there?
Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next Friday.